Right, welcome to the second episode or second stream of OS Dev Gardening. Um, yeah, I'm just here with this board I made with some cool pictures, and today we're just going to get back into it. For context, if you're just joining, I am working on an operating system, but I'm not starting from scratch. I just copied an existing open source one that's very basic. And the idea is just to have fun working on it. Um, and that concretely just means like doing kind of smaller, simpler things at the start just to kind of get going with it because I know a few things about this, but I'm really not an expert either. And so there's a lot I need to learn also, surely. And so, yeah. Um, so I'm just going to take a quick moment to make sure I post this everywhere I can. Um, Also, I think no one's here right now, so that's totally good. Um, yeah. Yep. I'm just going to post this on Twitter and maybe a Discord or two. Yeah, today I think we'll just be doing some more just basics with kind of cleaning things up and kind of getting to a place where it's just a nice place to work. There's a bunch of stuff that's really messy with the OS right now. Um, I'm just going to also post this in a Discord. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's like really messy with the OS. Um, it there's like the build system is super messy. The file organization is really messy. Um, and I think it would just be fun and also not too hard just to clean that up a bit. Um, yeah, so I think that's kind of what I'm thinking today. Just kind of cleaning stuff up. Yeah. Last time was really interesting. We were cleaning up the code formatting with Clang format, and we ended up finding a bunch of issues actually, and that turned into a really interesting exercise of cleaning up includes and just getting the project into a more professional state and a more kind of idiomatic state because previously a bunch of these files were including things or were using different types that were not included, and it led to an extremely brittle code base that would just stop compiling at the slightest reordering of includes, which is not what we want because what we want to be professional here, even though we're doing gardening and we're keeping it casual. I also want to have a sense of kind of professionality to it, and try to be using like best practices as much as possible, as much as I know. Because I'm not like fully an expert, but I would like to use best practices as far as I know. So yeah, I think should we just get started? I posted it on Twitter. All right, my screen's kind of muted a little bit because I have this like break timer on my computer, which means that every 20 minutes I have to like look away. Just it's kind of like a eye health kind of thing. Um, but yeah, why don't we just get into it? Yeah, so going also just quickly stopping by the Miro board. Like I said, we Clang formatted the code base last time, but I have a lot of other ideas for things we can do here. And I've just tried to kind of capture these just for a bit of like a little bit of project management, basically. But yeah, but no, I think I moved to the top. The things I'm most interested in. I kind of want to just delete a lot of code, and then I really want to get to creating some order with the directory structure in the files. And yeah, I think we can just kind of do that. Another thing I kind of want to do with this stream is also just I kind of forgot what I was going to say. Is yeah, use professional practices, but also kind of demonstrate the real life, everyday experience of a systems programmer, which is oftentimes a lot kind of less exciting, I think, than a lot of people think. A lot of times I think it's just refactoring the build or making things build or vendoring dependencies or patching dependencies or stuff like that. But anyway, let's just get going. So let's just start off. Let's make sure we're still building. So I'm going to source my environment file, and I'm just going to make Kimu. Yeah, I'm going to quickly send a text to my friend that I'm also live now in case he wants to join. Quickly shooting this link. Yep. Yeah, so actually, what the hell? This is not building. Did something happen? Okay, yeah, I don't really, that's always kind of a thing here. For some reason, things just like break. I don't think I've changed any files, but I'm quite confident we had this working last time, but I'm checked out to the latest development. So let's just clean the build and then try again. Okay, ulib.c. Yo, what's up? Shivang, I hope I pronounced your name. Great to see you. This is gonna be a fun one today. Yo. Hey. Yeah, let's get going. So ulib.c. So let's fix this build error. Oh, no, it's in stat.h. And okay, so apparently I missed something somehow. Last time, types.h. Wow, I totally mistyped that. Types.h. Make Quemu build, and it ran. Yeah, we are in fact running the OS. So that's great. Let's take a chance. Let's just take the opportunity to commit this. Fix build. Thanks. Build stat.h or properly or include types.h and stat.h was breaking the build. Okay, we got this thing going now. So now we're ready to develop because our stuff builds again. Let me update the topic of this little text here. Streaming OS kernel dev. What else should I say? Chill build system cleaning. Chill build system cleaning sounds about right. I don't want to make this text too intrusive. Yeah, let me know if you can't read anything either. I don't know if the text is too small or whatever, but I can adjust things. So, okay, going back to the board. Main task today is I would ideally like to create a directory structure that's organized without everything in the root without everything in the root of the of this project, because literally right now there's no folders in this code base. There's literally no folders. It's only files. And I'd like to add some just for organization. But before I do that, I also want to delete a lot of code from here because I kind of want to like strip the OS down to be really as minimal as possible. And it doesn't really make a lot of sense to do a lot of movement of files around if I'm just going to delete them later anyway. So I have the sense that there's a lot of stuff I can delete here that I just don't need. For example, like, because there's all these things that they included, like this, I don't know, there's like these random scripts. Like last time we saw this like cut H thing, which I just totally don't know. Having directories is also fun. Having no directories, yeah, it can be its own kind of fun. Cut H, yeah. So I think if I just ag cut H, nobody talks about this file. I'm just going to delete cut H. Yeah, there's just like stuff we do not need here. You know, I'm going to clean, oops, yeah, make clean. That worked. So just to simplify and really see what's here, I'm just going to, yeah, clean the build. There's a bunch of stuff that's not relevant for us because, again, this like OS was made for a class or like a course. Sign.pl. I don't know what this is. This actually seems important though. Yeah. I mean, one thing I would also say about this is that this experience of not starting from scratch and kind of inheriting a code base from like other people and kind of not being used to everything is actually very representative of like real world software development. It's very rarely the case that when you like work at a job that you will be just writing everything from scratch. What's more likely is that you're going to be joining some kind of existing project and they will have a bunch of stuff. And maybe the people that made that stuff are there. That's cool. Maybe those people that made the stuff are not there anymore. And I'm kind of emulating that experience right now where I have inherited this like OS code base. The original developers are gone. You know, the direction of the project may have changed. And so now it's up to me as like the lead developer of the project, like the very, very new quote unquote lead developer of the project, to make some sense of this and figure out what we need, what we don't. And yeah, and just kind of take it over from here. And so let's show, so now we're just kind of going through these kind of like suspicious looking file names. I truly do not know what this show one script could be doing. Vectors.pl, generate vectors.s. This is very interesting. Yeah, so I'm just learning about all these new files that I've never seen before. And I'm already adding like, so I had this to-do file, but I think I'm going to port it over to Miro. But yeah, also I added a few things to this to-do file in the meantime. So a few guiding principles for this whole project is that, number one, I don't want to start from scratch. Number two, I want to keep moving forward. And number three, I want to be having fun the entire time. because that's just the guiding constraints that I've personally set for this project. Because I know that OS dev can be a massively time consuming thing. I'm not really an expert. I'm not that skilled, and so these are the guiding principles I've set for myself. So that's what we're going to try to do here. We're going to try to just keep moving forward and just keep having fun and just kind of not get too bogged down in like too hard problems or anything like that. If work ends up being not fun, we'll drop it. We'll move on to another task. Yeah, I think. Yeah, okay. I think nothing too much to add here. But basically, I'm already seeing the one thing I want to do because I don't know Perl, and this is a Perl script, and this is a Perl script that gets invoked by the build system. This Perl script generates assembly, actually, which is very interesting. I'm not experienced enough to say whether that is like clever or messy or what, or I have no idea how other OSs do this. But none of that matters because this is just what we have so far. And the immediate thought that I have that I want to jot down is that I want to rewrite this script in non-Perl. Rewrite vectors.pl in Python, for example. I don't know Perl, and if I'm going to be the one maintaining this code base and working with it and feeling comfortable in it and feeling at home in it, which is the whole goal here, just to remember the goal is to have like a garden that we can feel comfortable in, or personally that I can feel comfortable in. I would encourage you to also apply this thinking if you're considering kind of starting a project like this. Just kind of take something that's out on the internet and then customize it and work with it until you feel really comfortable with it. So yeah, I'm gonna do a quick pause, check the Discord in case there's anything. I think Phil gave me a nice react in the Discord. Appreciate that. So that's just something very obvious. It's like I'm not going to feel at home in this code base until I have removed all the stuff that I am not comfortable with. Like a Perl script is just something I'm not comfortable with. I just do not know Perl. I don't want to be maintaining a code base that has like Perl scripts unnecessarily. There's no reason from this point forward for me to have this in Perl. So rewriting it in Python is clearly it's something I could do. And I think one thing also that's interesting is that this kind of task is not something you will see any other OS dev streamer do if they are starting from scratch. Because if you're starting from scratch, you are going to be doing everything from the start with tools that you are comfortable with. And in my position, I am not starting from scratch. And so I'm inheriting some stuff that I'm not comfortable with. So I'll need to port it. But actually taking an existing system and then kind of doing a little bit of a port is a great, easy task. And I'm actually not concerned about this at all. Like I actually don't really know what this assembly is really doing. But that actually doesn't matter. For the purposes of this script, all I need to do is re-implement the script in Python that does the same kind of textual manipulations. And I'm confident that that's not actually that hard, which actually makes me kind of excited to try it. But I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I just want to queue that up for later. And so the main thing we're doing right now is we are just going through all the files, seeing what's there, seeing what's weird, seeing what's not necessary, and then deleting it. But just to explore this vectors.s thing, which is actually kind of interesting. And also maybe I will contradict myself, because maybe, if we have some momentum for just like task, maybe if we have some momentum, like maybe we just dive into it. But even though it's kind of tempting to do that right now, I don't want to actually write some Python code. I'm just going to quickly look at how this thing actually works. Yeah, Shivang. Yeah, looks like it just prints text. I mean, that's obviously very easy, actually. You don't need to be a pro OS developer to write a script like this. You just need some basic scripting skills, and you're already on your way to like working on an OS, basically. Which that's pretty cool. I think a lot of people don't realize that. Um, yeah. So anyway, going back to this vectors.s. And so the way, if you don't know how makefiles work, by the way, like I think also just like a comment, like I think in this stream, I don't want to really assume too much prior knowledge for anybody watching. And so I will take the time to explain things also. Yo, what's up, Jan? Great to see you. We should chat sometime. Yeah, so Jan, I'm just working on my Fisher Price OS right now. I'm just having a bit of fun with it. Yeah. So basically, if you don't know how makefiles work, they basically have this concept of targets and dependencies. And in this case, we're expressing to the build system that we're trying to generate an assembly file with a bunch of, it's presumably assembly code related to interrupts and stuff like that. In order to do that, it says the makefile is saying we require the vectors.pl script. And then all this a build task does is run the script and generate the vectors.s. And then something else in this file is going to I see. Okay, so then once we've generated the vectors.s, then there's going to be some build task here that is in charge of converting assembly to object files. And I don't actually know where that happens right here. Maybe it happens kind of implicitly. So vectors.o. Yeah, okay. So what's happening is, just to recap, we have this Perl script which we found in the repo. I have no idea what it's doing. It's like part of the build system. And if we look at the build system in the makefile, we can see that it gets invoked to, the script is just run, which generates a .s file. And I think this happens implicitly, but if you just, and then somewhere else in this makefile, we declare vectors.o. And make just knows, I think, somehow how to turn .s files into object files. I think that's like an implicit thing it knows. There's a goal target, or Christian, thanks for the comment. Tags. Yeah, there's somewhere. Oh, I see totally what you mean. Well, yeah, so we declare a bunch of these, we declare all these object files, and then those are used later as a list of dependencies for the actual kernel. That makes sense. So the kernel depends on all these object files. And what I'm trying to figure out is, well, I mean, I don't actually care that much because I think I already know, but basically there's no rule. I think there's no explicit rule for going from .s files into object files, I believe. And we're getting our 20-minute break timer warning. So I'm just going to take a second, stretch out a little bit, take my eyes off the screen, get some water. Um, Christian, you're saying, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Christian. The only two references, the only two references to %.o are right here, and neither of those references are being used as an actual build target. And so what that just means is there is an implicit rule that, like, the explicit rule would look something like this. It would look like %.o, like, I think %.s, and then there'd be like some commands. There'd be some commands that know how to take the .s to .o, but I think make just has some implicit rules for doing that, and you don't need to actually do that. So yeah. All right, cool. Glad I got the pronunciation right. Shivang is saying, put a syntax error in Perl script, and you're gonna know which rule fails. I think, yeah, good call. I think we can already safely assume that this is the build task that's gonna fail. We can clearly see that it's executing the script right here. Didn't generate .s code, not the Perl file. Ah, interesting. I see what you mean. So, make the Perl file inject invalid assembly. Actually, that's a pretty cool idea. Actually, I like that idea. Thanks for the suggestion. I'm just going to do something dumb. I'm just going to. This is a syntax error. So I think if I understand your suggestion, Shivang, now I've basically kind of like corrupted the Perl script a little bit. And yeah, that was actually a really good idea. So now we've broken the build because the Perl script generates bad assembly. And we can see the actual line that was the last to run in the build system. And yeah, I'm looking for dwarf AS flags. AS flags. Yeah, okay. But this confirms exactly what I thought. So in this command line that is in charge of compiling assembly to object files, we can see that there's a few unusual arguments that are passed, which we can find here. And so in our build system, we are customizing those flags. But the thing is, this AS flags is not used anywhere else in this file. I'm trying to search for it and I can't, which means that the rule, like the build rule for converting and compiling assembly using these flags is implicit. Yeah. And it just means the rule is implicit and we're not going to find it in the make file. Which is, I think, it's something that I think that's a bit tricky about make. It has some implicit behavior, but it's also kind of convenient if you don't want to spend a lot of time coding a build system. Anyway, so that was fun. That was actually a quite interesting exercise. But I don't want to get too bogged down in this just yet. I would like to continue just this journey of deleting all the files that I don't care about. Bugs. Fix the page break mechanism. Yeah. I'm not going to delete the bugs file. Just in case. What else? So first I'm just going to start with these. Anything that is not like, vim gdb util. Utility function. This is interesting. I don't know. Christian, you're saying I would assume vector.s is an interrupt table for the kernel, maybe a default handler for each vector. Yeah, it's definitely related to the interrupt table. Definitely, yeah, definitely related to the interrupt table. Um, I mean, thanks a lot for joining. What we're doing right now is this is not an OS I started from scratch. This is actually the open source XV6 OS from MIT, and I'm just kind of I'm just trying to get comfortable with it and trying to learn about it. And so we're just kind of together exploring this kind of like foreign code base and seeing how things work here. But I think you're totally right. It's definitely related to interrupts, the interrupt vector or interrupt vectors, and we will definitely get more into that a bit later. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining us. I plan to do this a bit more. Like my goal, like my dream is to have just like a nice minimal OS that I'm very comfortable with and fully understand, and I can use for like playing around with stuff and for experiments and stuff like that. That's kind of my goal with it, because I would love to play around with like some virtual memory stuff, but Linux is just like insane. Like Linux is just so complicated, and there's just so much code that it's very hard to do that. And I want more of like a minimal setup that I just fully understand. But I also didn't want to start from scratch, because I just don't have time to, or the expertise or the knowledge to like write all this boot assembly and stuff. So yeah, so that basically that's the goal with my project here. And that's kind of why I'm calling it gardening, because I'm just trying to do like little things and just make a little bit of progress and not get too overwhelmed with it, but just like have fun the whole time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, GDB util, gonna keep that around. All this stuff is like code and is necessary, at least for the moment. So we're not gonna get rid of that. Yeah, one thing I will also say is that there's a lot of code here that I do find interesting, and ideally I would like to try writing it myself too. Like I've never written a disk driver before. There's already one here. And I think eventually, as I kind of get more comfortable with here, I'm going to start like deleting like core parts of stuff and then re-implement them, basically, and just kind of see how that goes. So, yep. Parental H. What's okay? pr.pl. What is pr.pl? Who uses pr.pl? Runoff. Show one and runoff use pr.pl. Runoff. Create table of contents. This is super weird. This is like, I don't think I need any of this. Yeah, I don't think we need any of this. I'm going to delete it. Yeah, I don't see myself using that program. Yeah, we can easily get it back if we need to. What is, and show one also. This seems highly unnecessary. Oops. Right, so the point is, yeah, like part of getting it all minimal as possible is deleting everything that we don't need. Print PCS. I wonder if this is related to like literally printing out on paper or something like that. Nope. Okay, this is totally different. Oh, print, okay. Print PCS stands for program counters there. That wasn't totally obvious to me. So yeah, decode signal from a panic EIP list. Find a working address, 2-line. Okay, I'm going to keep that around. That sounds useful for debugging stuff later. Yeah. Okay, so we got that. Let's just make clean ls. Okay. Runoff one. But there's also this pr.pl thing. Like, I'm just gonna delete, or yeah, wait a sec. Okay, PL, it's no longer used. Run off. What? Was that also there? I'm just gonna get rid of it. What is run? I don't. That is so odd. But there. Oh yeah, maybe we look at the make file runoff. Okay, yeah, there's all this weird stuff. That is not needed. It seems to be related to printing paper. Make a printout. Yeah, for my purposes, I do not need. I do not need paper. I do not need paper. Let's delete all of this. Run off. Get rid of that. Make clean, right? Okay, there's all these like TOC files. TOC files. I don't think we need that. Just checking the chat. Just curious, Christian, if you're still here, you seem to have some experience with like operating systems and interrupt tables and stuff like that. I'll be pretty curious to hear about your experience if you want to share. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so removing all these TOC files, runoff list. Don't need any of this. Don't need a PDF. Don't need this. Okay, extra. There's all this stuff we don't need. We do not need any of this. It's a little bit messy that they just have these backslashes immediately against the line. Yo, what's up, Jose? Yeah, no, I'm actually not using Streamlabs. I'm actually still using OBS. It seems like there's no way with Streamlabs to get the background cutout thing because they don't support plugins. So I'm back using OBS actually, which seems to work okay. And I actually did figure out a way to get the little stream notifications working, like if there's a new follower. Although I haven't actually, I'm not sure if that actually works. But yeah, no, I'm still using OBS. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we're just going through here and removing some cruft. Christian, much experience. I'm a software developer, recently quite low level, and I would like to learn more about ARM. Same. Yeah, very interested in ARM for me too. And I want to learn more as well. That's why I found your cool channel some time ago and subscribed. Awesome. Well, very cool. Yeah, I'm super interested in ARM too. I mean, right now I'm like working with this OS in x86, and that's kind of just because I'm trying to reduce complexity because I know x86 better than I know ARM, especially for that low level like boot stuff. But it would be cool to port this to ARM eventually. My OS is OpenBSD, and that's what I'm trying to learn more about OpenBSD and ARM. Very cool. Yeah, OpenBSD is awesome. I honestly don't know too much more about it other than it is considered like the most secure Unix kernel, I think, and SSH comes from there. Cat World, what's up? Nice to have you. We're just talking about operating systems, low-level programming. yeah, OpenBSD is cool. I actually didn't know that OpenBSD worked, like was ported to ARM, but I guess that's probably pretty obvious. It's a pretty major project, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yo, what's up? I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce it right, but is it Montan or Monthan? Anyway, great to have you. Thanks for joining. Yeah, we're just chatting about some OS development stuff, and we're just having fun. Like it's really chill. Monthan. Okay, cool. Um, Keeping it very chill. Earlier we looked a bit at the build system. Still looking at the build system and just kind of cleaning up everything that we can, because like my goal is to make this a nice minimal OS for playing around with, and I want to feel totally comfortable with it. All right, and we were just removing a bunch of weird files that seem totally unnecessary. This whole dist thing seems quite suspicious. Yeah, like the I'm like the kind of fun little like framing around this project is also like as if you kind of inherited some like alien code base from some other developers who are long since like gone from your company, and you need to like figure out what to do, and there's all this like weird stuff, and you're just like trying to wrangle it. That's kind of how I feel with this. I'm just gonna delete this whole make thing. I don't know what any of this is, but I don't think it's that important, and I can always get it back. And yeah, I can always go back and get all this stuff. It's just for the moment, it's just totally not needed. Interesting. Cut here, prepare dist for students. And so clearly there's all this like legacy from the fact that this was used as a learning operating system. And none of that is necessary anymore. So as the new senior developer on the project, you got to do what you got to do. You got to clean stuff up. Things don't matter. Get rid of them. So yeah, I think that's about good. Let's go ahead and make a commit. I just deleted all these files, and yeah, basically just deleted everything. The only thing that changed was kind of like this line, but it was just deletions. Maybe before we commit, let's just check if we still build. Make clean, make cleanmoo. Yeah, we are still building and running, so that feels good. Leaving the place better than before senior engineer, absolutely. Yeah, that's like a bit of the vibe I kind of want to explore here too. Like we're not doing very serious software development, but I also want to kind of do things the right way. And not that I exactly know the right way to do things, but I have some experience, and I want to try using best practices if I can, to the extent that it doesn't make the project not fun anymore, basically. But so far, I'm still having fun. And one practice that I will continue to do is having good commit hygiene, because for one thing, I'm just very used to that from my work, and also I think it's actually a really good idea. So I'm going to kind of try to keep that up, and like write good commit messages and stuff like that, and just kind of try to follow those practices. Old unused files related to printing. Not sure what these are for, but we don't need them right now. Yeah, very cool. So that was like some nice progress. I'm just gonna take a sip of water. Question, how did you start building the OS, and did you have prior experience knowledge of building one or just learned along the way? So yeah, just to be really clear, I have cloned this from the XV6 project. So I did not write, I've barely done any code here. All I'm doing is just like playing around with this existing project. And so, but if you're asking about actually like compiling, then that's a bit of a different thing, but like I haven't really built too much here. I'm just kind of working with something that already existed. And as far as prior experience and knowledge of building one, I have a decent amount of experience with the Linux kernel, with very specific areas of the Linux kernel, like the virtual memory subsystem and a bit of like the virtual file system and stuff like that. But that's kind of it. I don't know. I'm not very familiar with like the boot process, and I would love to become more familiar with that. I don't know much about scheduling. I know some things, but I've never done significant development really, and that was always something I kind of wanted to do more. So I also worked in information security, like infosec, for a while, and I've worked with like I've worked with assembly a pretty decent amount too, but mostly in user space, not so much in kernel space. So I have like kind of patchy knowledge of like things here and there, and I think I would just benefit a lot from really just trying to do a project like this. I've like some Linux kernel experience, but like as we will see as this project continues, there will be so many things I just don't know, and hopefully I get a chance to learn about it. Eventually you can host a repo so that other people can join the garden. That is a cool idea, and I think I have a few thoughts about that. That it would be cool to have like a repo on GitHub of like, here's an OS, but it's very minimal and it's all good, and you can take it from where you want. But I think one of the main benefits, I think if you just take that OS and just use it from there, you lose all the benefit of having cleaned it up in the first place. Actually, I think that's literally what I'm doing right now, and I think there is a lot of benefit to that. I'm gonna make a kind of a weird analogy. I wonder if it's kind of like using steroids. It's like you can use steroids and get huge muscles, and then kind of like go from there. But there's a lot of this hard work along the way if you don't use steroids, and that's actually very, very valuable. But maybe it could be public someday. That would be pretty neat. We'll see. For now, it's just a little thing on my computer that I've barely done anything to. So, okay, let's keep it moving. It's 4:50 p.m. In Europe right now where I am. So we got a bit over an hour left. So let's keep it moving. And we're just trying to see what files we don't need anymore. This file is extremely interesting to me. It seems sign a PL. At first I thought I could delete it, but now I'm not so sure. And I think it's actually like a little bit important, but we'll get to that in 20 seconds after a quick stretch break and an eye break and whatever. All right, that was a good stand up. Remember, it's always important to stay healthy when you're programming. Don't sit too long. Get some water. Stretch a little bit. Anyway, so this is clearly related to the boot process. I just know that because it's talking about boot block, so of course, and it seems like it's constructing like this whole OS uses very kind of old technologies, and so it's booting using master boot record technology, or like master boot record, which is just like a simple, like one of these old ways of booting x86 PCs. And yeah, totally, Christian, you're totally right. That's absolutely the end signature of the boot sector. And so the boot sector is the first 512 bytes of the disk. And what a bootloader does is the bootloader, or I don't exactly know which component of the system. I believe it's the bootloader. But it's also possible that the bootloader is stored in this sector. And yeah, maybe, I think, to be really clear, there's different levels of bootloaders, and a really early bootloader is going to go to disk and load the first 512 bytes from disk into memory at a specific address in physical memory, and then I think it just starts executing directly from that first byte of the disk, and then in that first 512 bytes, that's where you're supposed to put another like little bootloader that can fit into 512 bytes. And the job of that bootloader is to then go and read further into the disk and actually load the kernel off of it. Load the kernel off of the disk and then jump to that. And now that it's kind of becoming a bit more fresh in my memory, that bootloader, I think the BIOS is the thing that loads that 512 byte thing from disk into memory, and so it's the BIOS that's the stage before the 512 boot sector bootloader, and yeah, then this bootloader can use services in the BIOS, actually a bit like system calls, but like just kind of on a different level. Shivang, generally bootloaders like U-boot are like 512K in size. Yeah, I mean U-boot is like totally different. Like U-boot is a crazy big. It's like an extremely industrial strength bootloader, and that's so in terms of the setup we're talking about here, maybe I can just like draw this out a little bit. In terms of the setup we're talking about here, so it would be something like the BIOS, then the master boot record, 512 byte bootloader, and then the kernel would be next, and like control flow kind of proceeds in this direction. But if you were to include U-boot into the system, you would basically why can I not change anything anymore? Okay, unlock. Oops. Okay, long press to unlock. Yeah, I think if we were to use U-boot, from my understanding, U-boot fits in kind of like there. And so U-boot kind of can masquerade as sort of like a kernel a little bit. But anyway, I think we're getting kind of detailed into that. Our boot process is on another level. I have a board that is something like 6 partitions just for the boot, and then rootfs, vendorfs. Okay, that's pretty wild. I honestly don't have too much experience with that. That's pretty wild. Anyway, I think what the conclusion we can draw is that this file is important. Maybe we can again look at the make file. But I think I missed a comment that was important from Christian. Maybe for BIOS old PC to verify if there's a boot sector to launch from. Yeah, something like that. I mean, I don't actually. Yeah, I don't actually know Perl, so I can't really read this well. But I think we should not get too bogged down into that. All we need to know is that it's important, and I shouldn't delete it right now. Spin P. What is? I have no idea. What's spin? Spin Unix. Interesting. Spin is a verification tool. Oh. Spin is like a, okay, yeah. Spin is a verification tool. And I don't know what it is, and we don't need it. So I'm going to remove spin p. Then we have some other stuff. I think it's a bit out of date. Make clean ls. All right. We have a bunch of other code. Assembly. Okay. So I think we've gotten to like a kind of a good state over here. So all right. Just gonna check the chat again. Christian says, I think what it does, it reads that buffer and inserts the signature after the 510 byte. Maybe, I think, yeah, that sounds right to me. So I'm pretty sure that, yeah, like the boot sector needs to end with that specific signature. Otherwise, the BIOS is not going to load it. And I don't know how this build system works well enough yet. But that's probably just how they do that. Yeah. I also noticed I'm not streaming under the right category. I'm streaming under people and blogs. Yeah, no, we should be under like science and technology. That's a bit more right. I just changed the stream category. Anyway, okay, let's keep it moving. Okay, so at this point, I feel fairly okay. There's this one file that I don't really know. vim.bocrc. Okay, so this file is related to using Box, which is a different emulation tool. And I'm using Quemu right now, so I'm not using Box at all. And I don't plan to use Box. I'm gonna get it. We can always get it back. We can always get it back. Oops. Remove box RC. Okay. Oops. Okay. Yeah. So now we've gotten rid of all the files that we obviously do not need. And yeah. So there's maybe some more stuff, but yeah, everything out is here is at least used by the build system. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this to done. Yeah, by the way, for anyone that's new to the stream, I generated these images, which I'm pretty happy about. Just these like OS Dev gardening images. I think, oh, check out that Hawks Hex or whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these images. I think they're quite cute and quite nice. Capture the vibe of what we're up to pretty well. So just wanted to share that. Yeah. Yeah, so what's next? We have 1 hour left of the stream, and there's a few things we could work on. In order of priority, what I am interested in working on is adding directories, period. Like I was saying before, there are no directories in anywhere here. And it would be nice to at least, for example, have like a kernel directory and a userspace directory, because right now everything is completely jumbled together and it's impossible to tell what's what. But yeah, I have, so that's going to involve going into the build system again. And is creating the directories, moving the files on disk, adjusting the build system to reference these new things. And yeah, I guess we could do that. One thing I'm already kind of thinking about that I'm a little bit scared about is there's these include files. There's at least one include file that is used both in the kernel and in userspace. So that might be a bit of a challenge to figure out, but it's probably not that hard. So yeah, I think we should just. Then there's this other easy thing of rewrite vectors.pl in Python, which is also possible, but and I kind of feel like doing that, but I think the reason I feel like doing that is because I'm scared of this other one, and and there's kind of unknowns, and so I think that means we should do the first one that I'm scared of. That's probably where we will learn more. So yeah, let's do that. I think I'm also going to start adopting the practice of Git branching. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Because right now I've just been committing everything to like my branch. And yeah, no, I think branches are good. Let's make a branch for call it. I'm just gonna call it adders. Adders. Okay. So yeah, now let's see. I'm just noticing that the stream. I'm wondering how much lag there is in the stream. I have this like little YouTube window showing what's going out, and it seems several minutes behind actually. So I don't know. But at the same time, I was responding to people in the chat, and it seemed like it wasn't such incredible lag. But whatever. Let's keep it going. Yeah. Okay. So let's just take a look. The goal is to add some directories here. I'm just kind of just worried about completely breaking everything. I didn't feel like your responses to my comments were very laggy. Yeah, so maybe my little YouTube window is like, I don't know, something odd, but good to know that it's not crazy laggy. Okay, yeah. I think I to be really honest, I don't know even these files very well. Like, I think I need a bit of like a tour through them because I'm not sure what is even the kernel and what's not. And I'm a bit apprehensive of just completely breaking the build. And I'd ideally take a very small step that improves things and doesn't completely break the build. And I think what would make me feel less scared is if I understood the makefile better, because I still don't really. I responded about 10 seconds after my comment. Looks good. Okay, very cool. Yeah, this little YouTube window over here is like, I think it's like minutes behind. So anyway, thanks for that. Thanks for that. That quick latency check. Yeah. So let's understand this build system. I think that is just going to be useful. I'm going to just bring it on the right side. So objects. In fact, I think while I'm at it, I might even try to, clean up this makefile a little bit. Because, for example, like this objects variable, it's actually kernel objects, I believe. It's not user space objects. And there's this whole separate way that user space gets built, which is like totally different. And so that's like one thing that's like immediately a little bit confusing. It's just like, okay, what's the distinction between kernel objects and user space? And yeah, so I think our first minimal goal would be to move the essential kernel files into a directory and then still be able to build the kernel. And I think we're not that far. Objs, and here's our good old kernel build target, and it takes a bunch of stuff. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna be bold. I'm gonna be a bit more bold. I'm going to make dir kernel and just start moving stuff into it that seems like that it should go there. For starters, I'm going to move all of this stuff. Bio.c, console.c, exec.c. There's probably a faster way of doing this, but maybe I can use VS Code and like do a selection. But then I have to like find all the files. No, I'm just gonna keep doing this. File.c. I could also try to find some way weirdly to like convert this text thing. I could do some crazy sed command. This is the classic case where I'm not sure if it's faster to like try to do this sed command or not. Maybe it's not that hard. Okay. That was weird. Yeah. Oh, Shivang with the classic Vim comment. So I could run that command and then get the names of all these C files, and then copy and paste them. Like this kind of just failed. I tried to just yeah, no, I think I'm being kind of dumb, I think. I'm just going to vim files set paste and yeah, let's do this. So yeah, .c, inside make file. Error object will fail in print. That's a good hack. You can visual select, then Y, then Control W to shell. Interesting. I think I understand, but I am just going to play it a little bit safer, I think. Nice. And then does this work? Backslash. Yep. Okay. Nice. Okay. So we got our files. Man, I feel like a bit embarrassed right now because this is just like very noobish stuff. And from here, there's probably some xargs command, but yeah, I think that's actually. I should actually learn how to use xargs. So cat files, xargs, echo, right? How do I do an xargs command that references the argument? For I in cat file do rm done. Oh, the screen is telling me it's time for a 20-second stand-up break. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT how to do this. How to use xargs. I have a file with a list of file names. I want to move each file into another directory. How do I use xcat piped to xargs to do this? I can never remember like the syntax. It's like, I think it's like curly braces or something like that. Yeah, it's like super. So ChatGPT just got back to me, and I think, and it's saying something like this. Okay, yeah. So I think that worked. I'm going to go back to. No worries. Thank you for the encouragement. Yeah, no. We're kind of done deleting things now. We're just cleaning things up. To be honest, no, I don't wear ties like super casually, but I just thought it would be kind of fun, to be honest, and I don't have enough reasons to dress up, and so I just thought it'd be kind of fun. So that's why I'm kind of dressed up right now. But it looks like this thing totally worked, and the only reason it kind of failed is because these three files are not C code. So kernel move trap ascend to s kernel move vectors. Okay, yeah, and then vectors.pl. It yeah it belongs. Yeah, it belongs in the kernel directory too. .pl into the kernel. Yeah, so there's some other stuff. While I'm at it, I might also create a user's. No, I think. No, yeah, no, I should just stick with the kernel for now. All right, Christian, thank you for joining. Have a nice one. And I'll see you. Yeah, I'll be back here next Sunday. Enjoy. Thanks for tuning in. See you later. What was I doing? Yeah, I'm looking at all these other files, and I'm still having the same issue where I'm like kind of confused because there's so much different stuff happening all over the place. And there's a lot of stuff that's still kernel related that I didn't move yet. And how to do this? What do I want to do? So we have the kernel directory, and then if we want to be really professional, we're gonna have like a source directory. But maybe that's jumping a little bit too far ahead because at this current point I've like broken the build, and I've broken the build. Yeah, and let's say I wanted to do the minimal amount of actions to not break the build. What do I need to do? And it's definitely related to here, of course, obj.o. So what I'm thinking about is, I'm just gonna go back to Miro just to like brainstorm a little bit, because there's different ways I could go about this right now. I could easy, hard, like ideally I would have separate dirs for kernel and user, and separate makefiles inside kernel and user, and then the top level makefile just uses those internal makefiles. But that's like, that's a bit involved. I guess I don't have like super, I don't exactly know, yeah, what that involves, because I don't understand the build system super well. So on the easy side of things, we can just move some files, continue to use one global makefile, in the root dir, and that's, yeah, and we just, and then we like incrementally port later. Somehow, yeah, I think that's a bit safer. And also, if I have the perspective of that I only have 40 minutes left in this stream and I would like to make some progress, maybe we just do that. So maybe the easiest thing to do to start is just to add kernel. Siobhan, how about just port the user space to a new directory? Kernel can just be in the root of the repo. This will help in case when we want to include a file from kernel space to user space, we can do. That is true. That would be an option. I think ideally the header includes shouldn't have like this // thing. I mean, but that would work for like an incremental step actually. But I think there's also maybe a way we can just do shared includes. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try out how this works. Yeah. Make queen. Oh, what the hell? Ooh, okay. So problem number 1 is that there was a file called kernel. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, what can I do? Okay, in the meantime, I can, what's it saying? What was the error? Remove kernel. Oh. Oh, right, yeah, it's right here. In the meantime, I'm just, what the, okay. In the meantime, I'm going to delete this line and think about this later. And then that's going to be a problem because I've like named the kernel directory kernel. Kernel is a good name. It's like a good name. I like the name kernel, I feel like. So anyway, I'm just gonna, yeah. So we can use the kernel target, and all we need to do is like not, yeah, but no, but now I'm like modifying all sorts of stuff I don't want to be changing. I think the easier thing to do, which is kind of dumb, is just to move kernel and like rename it to something else. And I'm just going to take a second, kernel underscore dir. I'm just going to take a second just to try to think of a name for this. I am going to name it kern. Oh, oops, kernel kern for now. That is the name I have chosen. And that is going to solve all of these problems for the moment. So now I just need to go and do this. Make it clean. Ugh. Okay, so it's very obvious why this is not building, because I don't have any of the headers. I moved all of the source files, but none of the headers. So let's move the headers. How would I? Okay, time to figure out. So I'm going to go into kern, and I'm going to, nothing's in source, right? Okay, so like ideally we would, ideally, so like ideally we'd have this as like baby steps. Yeah, this is like the baby steps path, and that's the whole spirit of everything we're doing here. We're taking baby steps in every single way. So that makes sense. So yeah. So now let's say I was like smart or something. I would ag for the word include. Sort unique. Nope. I need to tell ag to not show the file name. No file name. Okay. Okay, interesting. Ag v inode. So we have the complete list of things that. Why is there a blank line? Grep NRI include. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I think we've achieved the same solution. There is like this blank line that is frustrating me. Okay, that's weird. Anyway, now I want to write a command line that extracts the text inside here, and I could probably use sed for this, but I do not know sed well enough to really do that. What should I do? I could either continue not learning. I could find some other hack, or I could just learn how to use sed, and I will probably ask ChatGPT again. And my ChatGPT prompt is going to be yank to vim, modify, yank back to terminal. Yep, classic trick. I should really learn how to do this. I'm going to do this the right way. So my ChatGPT prompt is, I have a command line that outputs a string of C includes. I would like to use xargs to move each file in the include to a different directory. The includes use quotes for the file names. How can I write a command line that does this using xargs, for example? ChatGPT. awk. Output cut d. Yeah. Yeah, definitely like some way to cut would be an option to like cut away random stuff and then select stuff. That's kind of what I would reach for. But awk seems to be really cool actually here. Does this work? Does this work? Does this work? Whoa. That is sick. I don't. Let's see. Do I get this? I'm not sure I totally get this. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Isn't that dope? I think I'm not going to take the time to really understand that. Oh shit. So I move I. Oh, so we're going to be doing King ChatGPT move to here, and this is where we're going to break things because we're going to move types.h into to here, but that's fine. Like, so so I was saying there's this problem of like there's a shared header between the kernel and user space, but that header is like types.h, which is kind of a weird header anyway, and I don't know if I want to keep it long term. It's also not a big header. I don't even know if I want to keep this, and so I don't think that's a good reason for like adding a lot of complexity for like shared headers between the user and the kernel. Although I mean that is definitely a thing. Like headers that the kernel exports to user space are definitely a thing, but like not for stuff like this. And that's also quite an advanced feature, I feel like. And rather than making a bunch of build infrastructure that allows header files to be shared between user space and the kernel, I think the better option is just to copy this file, and then probably later we will even remove it. I might even port away from these type defs to something else. So yeah, so what did we just do? We just moved all the files into kern. And now there's also one very obvious thing we need to fix, which is this. We moved vectors.pl, and the build system is not going to know where that is. Kern. Yeah, I feel kind of bad also because I'm copy and pasting this like kern thing here. Kern dir equals kern. But wait a sec. No, I'm first things first. Let's just get this building, and then we'll fix up everything else later. Let's not get, because I don't actually know how to do variables in makefiles. Like it's probably not that hard, but I think that's how you do it. But I don't totally know. So vectors.pl, and yeah, that compiles to vectors. Oops, I also broke this. Kern vectors.s/s, and I think this will actually work. Or I mean, it totally might not work, but oops, shit. Kern. Yeah, why not? Okay. Make clean. Make oops elf dot h. What is not found? Okay. So boot main, scope boot main.c requires elf.h, and elf.h should be in kern. It's definitely there. The problem is that our build system is oh, palm tree. 20-second break. All right, back. Yeah, that palm tree mechanism is super good. Super good. Just a quick stretch, quick water, because it's so easy for me, at least, to just code for so long and like be like staring at the screen for so long and never stand up and like all that kind of stuff. So anyway, the build is working because this is kind of funny. Our GCC command has 2 -i's, which is definitely a bug. Or I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to VS Code. I'm kind of switching between a lot of stuff, but okay, just yeah, full screen it. That's interesting. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what's happening here, but this -I is what we want. That's the flag for GCC, which tells GCC where to look for headers. And the problem is that this C flags thing is again shared between the kernel and user space, I believe. Which means that if we can't just put like kern here, that's gonna break user space. Or ideally we shouldn't just put kern here. Okay, yeah, this -I dot thing only works, yeah, if you have one directory with absolutely everything in it, but it falls apart as soon as you need to separate things out. So falls apart. Yeah, so I think what I might try is just doing like a kern C flags and a have to make an architecture choice here. Kern. Yeah, we will come through here and but okay, now I'm starting to like second guess a little bit because CXX also I have this dumb typo I need to fix. Okay, let me just quickly commit that stupid space. Yep. So I'm just committing this one hunk basically, separate from the rest of the changes because I made a typo. I could even amend this into the history. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, maybe I will just quickly amend it into the history. So what is the yeah, I think this is the commit that introduced the bug, and I'm just going to amend it with my staged files. Damn. Ugh. Conflicts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Never mind. I don't want to figure this out right now. I'm just going to commit this and move on. So. Oh wait, what? No. Oops, I did a huge mistake, I think. Okay. Nothing should be staged. Why? What happened? Why? Oh. Oh, what the hell? Okay. Okay. That is interesting. So I tried to amend it. It under the hood generated a fix-up commit and tried to rebase and fix that up, but that conflicted, and I aborted the rebase, and that's where things stopped. So the it just left the fix-up commit there, and I'm like totally fine with that. I think, yeah. Maybe we clean that up later, but for now we're like deeply in the middle of this refactor, and let's not complicate things too much. Excuse me. But my question was CXX flags, because I added C++ support to userspace, but yeah, that's only for userspace so far. Okay. I was just thinking if we need to add like a current CXX flags, but where would that go? But I think I don't need to even think about that right now. So let's just do this. Oh, whoops. Nope. Shit. Okay. This is kind of where I don't, yeah. Okay. Save. And now we need to find out where C flags. Okay, yeah, but now user C flags. So we're just going to do a this tiny little thing. And now I'm going to go see where C flags is used. Which is a lot of, this is all kernel build targets, all kernel, that's it. So that means userspace uses implicit make rules. Yeah, Shivang, I never understood rebase also. Yeah, it can be tricky. I have a medium, I have a pretty reasonable understanding of rebase. I think it just requires spending some time to kind of understand it, but it's pretty useful. I'm pro rebasing. I'm pro I'm pro like clean Git history. I'm pro like rewriting history and stuff to remove like typo commits and stuff like that. I don't think typo commits should belong in the final Git history. So I'm a fan of rebasing, but not in the middle of like some crazy thing like this. So yeah, no, we are so close. This is like, we are really close though. Here's what I need to do. I need to, in every place in the kernel that we were previously using C flags, I need to add kern C flags. So for example, kern C flags. Yeah, I feel kind of, I should probably, last stream I learned how to use Vim registers, and I'm going to apply this knowledge again to be a better programmer. So I'm going to visually select and then do apostrophe K P. No, shit. Yank. Time to Vim. Yeah, that would be interesting. Oh, wait 1 second. So apostrophe K Y, yanked it. Yeah, we can do some Vim magic a little bit, I guess. Yeah. But here's the thing, like, init code. Not all of these build targets require the headers, maybe. So we don't necessarily need them if they're not going to be used. But actually, this does need some headers, yeah. Entry other. This does not. Oh wait, never mind. This does need headers. So never mind. Yeah, I should like, yeah, stop being smart. Just like just try to just move forward. So anyway, so we've added our C flags everywhere for the kernel. And so now I think the kernel should build, but I'm trying to think through what the effects on user space are now. Because user space also uses these C flags, and we've just removed it. We've added this user C flags thing, but we've never used it. And I think user space, I think we just broke user space, but who cares? Let's just get the kernel building first. Make kernel. Damn. Damn, what the hell? File. Well, we compiled at least we compiled one kernel file. Oh, but wait a sec. No, no, what I just did didn't work because -I isn't anywhere here. Did I, what happened? Wait a sec. Did I, bio? Okay, bio, so, all right, back to basics. Oh no. Yeah, no. Okay, this is not going to work. Yeah, no. This did not work because adding kernel C flags next to all the previous uses of C flags is not enough. Because of the implicit build, like, okay, let's rewind. C flags is used in these places, and this is used for stuff, for a couple specific files in the kernel. But notably, none of these CC lines are compiling all of these kernel object files that we're trying to build. Like this code that we touched is not related to those lines above. Yeah, I think just the source of all of the problems are the fact that kernel space and user space are using a shared make file all at the same time with a single like global C flags, which yeah, which kind of sucks because yeah. So for a really quick fix, okay, here is the actual worst fix that will let us make forward progress. We're just going to do both. Oh, I messed something up, I think. We're just going to do both. this is like sloppy, because now this is sloppy because now user space can include the kernel's header files. How about prepend the -i to obj? If I understand you correctly, you're proposing, Shivang, to add it here, maybe, but maybe that. So I get the idea. That might kind of work. That might be actually kind of nice, but well, I think it's nice and also not nice for a few reasons. But the concrete reason why I don't think that's going to work is because this objects files is used directly in the dependencies of a make build target. And therefore, if we have the string -i in there, it's going to try to find either a file or another build target called -i kern or whatever. And I think that's not going to work. So I think for the moment, let's just try this. I think this might work. I think that's probably, no, what the hell? But wait a sec. So now our stuff is back. Hey Christian. Yeah, so exactly. We're trying to make the kernel build commands find the headers in this new kernel directory we've created. And yeah, previously we tried to be a little bit smart and make a separate user C flags and separate kernel C flags. But then the kernel C flags was just totally unused because actually the rule for building the kernel's object files is a totally implicit rule. That's, and like you just said, how about in rule kernel we add, and how about in rule kernel we add the kernel C flags to C flags? That's what we did. Yeah, that's what we already did, and it's not, and it doesn't work. Or if I understand you correctly, like, oh wait, you said in the kernel, but the thing about the kernel build target is that all this happens after all of these kernel individual object files have been built. This is saying I need all of these object files, and then after I have all of them, I can run these three things. But what we're trying to debug is the actual building of these specific files, and that happens through an implicit rule. Christian, so maybe in the process of kernel user space separation, for now, these goals would need to be explicitly stated. Explicitly declare .s dependency for kernel. Explicitly declare .s dependency for kernel and user space. So I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying add a add more makefile rules, basically. Yeah. Kernel that will overwrite the C. No, add dummy rule next to kernel that will overwrite C flags. Oh, okay. I think I see what you're saying, Shivang. You're proposing to have some way to kind of use the kernel C flags, maybe temporarily or something like that. Okay, I think, yeah. I think for the moment, I think both of these suggestions are good. But I feel like this hack should have worked, and I don't actually understand why it doesn't work. because like what's wrong? Like why doesn't this build? GCC dash I. GCC dash CO current. I feel like this should have worked. I don't understand why this didn't work. Because I don't actually understand this error. I don't like... Yeah, like, so just to recap, in our, like, I'm just trying to find the maximally hacky solution, which is adding the like dash I kern also to this list. So now both kernel and userspace will get it. And it's unfortunate that userspace gets it too, but the more important part is that the kernel gets it. And so I think the kernel should have all of the headers it needs. Console.c. No, I in file included. So console.c includes x86.h. Data port variables. No, I think we're being misled. So I think something weird is happening. Make kernel. What the hell? Also, why didn't bio? Oh, okay, yeah, no. Okay, now since we need to adjust the clean rule to rmf kernel. Oh, I think current. Yeah, that's something we need to do. Okay, make clean. Damn. Oh, wait. Oops. Okay, wait. I'm confused though. Why is make clean? Oh wait, no. Damn, I have a. That's the. I'm just deleting random stuff. Okay, make clean. Make kernel. Ugh. Okay. Palm tree break. All right. Okay. Wait. Okay. Did I miss something? x86.h has types.h, right? Yeah. I feel like, and I don't know why. I was looking at original XP6. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, my fork is diverging, and I'm fixing up a bunch of stuff. But I don't know. Let's try copying just all this stuff over here. Does that help? No. I don't get, it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, what if you just define that type in x86.h? Yeah, so type defing everything here. And we still get the error. It would mean that I is wrong somehow. So, yeah, I don't know. Or wait a sec. Maybe I did something kind of dumb. Wait a sec. Make file. What did the dash I look like originally? Okay, the dash I originally had the dot immediately next to the I. I was just wondering if it's important to have like a space after the I, but I don't think it actually is. So I have to confess that I'm kind of confused. I don't get what is going on. What I kind of want to do though is I would like to see the original command line in the working state. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make dir get xv6 public 2 maybe. And I want to just oops shit. I'm going to get. Wait. I think I'm being kind of dumb. I just wanted to have like a second checkout of this. I don't want to switch branches right now because I'm kind of in the middle of stuff. But I wanted to have a second checkout of the repo. All right. Now I'm being kind of dumb. I think. F xv6 to. I should just copy the entire thing and xv6 public 2, right? That's like the quickest way to achieve what I want. And then I'm trying to just like get stash gco offline mark, make clean, make what? Okay. I don't know if I was clear what I was trying to do, but I was just trying to get back to a working building state. And I thought I did that. Files, current, remove, files, make clean. Oh no, I think I'm dumb. I think I know the problem. I didn't set up my environment maybe in this shell. That is so stupid. That is so stupid. My environment just needs this tool prefix thing for some reason to work. And that's it. So welcome to your world with environment variables or what? So in the final minutes of the stream, because I need to go, this is cool, but I mean, no rule to make kern vectors.o needed by kernel. Okay, damn. No rule to make target kern / vectors.o needed by kernel. I would love to just like get the kernel to build. But I feel like my brain's a little bit fried from all this focus. Do we have vectors.s? No, we don't. If we look in kern, vectors.p, there's no vectors.s. So for some reason, no, tank target. Why didn't vectors.s? Oh, because, wait a sec. Vectors.s. No, I think I'm kind of running out of ideas. Ugh. I think this is not hard, but I think my brain is starting to not work super well. No rule to make kern / vectors.o needed by kernel. Vectors.o. Shit. Man, what? We're so close. This is so stupidly close. Why is this not running? Go. Hello. Make clean. Make Kernel. Dude, why are you not running? Or, okay, I mean, this is probably, maybe this is easy because simply like what depends on the kernel build target? Kernel? There must be something else that's making the vectors. That's okay. This is mysterious. I'm just gonna cheat. I'm just gonna do make vectors dot s. Oh shit! That's why. Oh my god. Kern, because yeah, that's the way that this like works for some reason. Make clean, make kernel. Oh, we're so close. Did it say hello? No, it didn't say hello. What the? I think that's implicit. Anything that depends on objs. Yes, there is an implicit link between S files and O files. Totally. For whatever reason, vectors.s is not being generated. And I can manually run it, so like that's like cheating, but now I can, oh shit. So now I also, flags, I need to, okay, there's a bunch of other stuff that's going wrong with mem layout. That's in kern. Entry.s. Entry.s is for some reason still here. Which is unfortunate. So I'm just going to do this. Vector.o. I'll read the comments in 1 second, just kind of focusing on this. I think, yeah, okay. So that did it. Let's try again. Make clean. So make kernel does a bunch of stuff. Oh, what the hell? But wait a sec. Yeah, no. Yeah, you're totally right. In my clean, I need to remove kern vector s, right? Don't you need to update the path with the clean target? I think, yeah, I think you both. Well, I need to update some paths, specifically to, kern vector dot s. That this is the cleaner way to do this. Okay. Make clean. Make kernel. Okay, I don't know why that's working, but we did it. I don't know. I don't fully understand why it's working, but I think we should just stop for today. And yeah, let's take a moment just to reflect on what changed, and wrap up the stream. This is cool, but it feels good to make some progress. So if I'm able to, if I talk too much, no, no. I really appreciate the conversation. It feels nice to not be alone here also. So yeah, appreciate you joining in. Yeah, let's just wrap it up. So we'll wrap it up by writing a commit message. So what did we do? We made a kern directory, and we named it kern because naming it kernel caused all sorts of conflicts with the existing build system and stuff. We wrote, I used ChatGPT to learn how to use xargs and move a bunch of C and H files into the kern directory. And yeah, no, this, don't need that. let's unstage that. So yeah, other than that, we then change the build system to then reference the new current directory. We don't need this, we don't need this, we do need this, we do need this. We actually do not need any of these things. None of those were actually relevant to our solution right now. So I'm gonna unstage them and we'll get a nice clean, we don't need this dumb hello, but I think we do need both of these. And lastly, we do need that. Great. So we worked on the make file, worked on the build system, and now it's operating out of, and we have this files. We don't want that. Let's commit it. All right. Make kern dir and move kernel, most of kernel files, and move most of the kernel files there. We named it kern because naming it kernel conflicted with a lot with the existing build system. I think kern is a good name. I think I'm also thinking of that because I think I saw it in a few other little hobbyist OSs as the name they chose. And then, okay, then update the build system to reference the kern, reference that dir for kernel object files. All right, very cool. We can get, we don't need any of this stuff. I will even delete this file. We don't really need this, I think. Yeah. Cool. Well, I think that's about as good of a time as any to end the stream. I'm going to go make some dinner now, but thanks for joining along. Again, this turned into a kind of interesting adventure that I didn't think. So yeah, have a great week. I'll be back here next week. See you then.